The alarm beeped once, then again, louder. Captain Laura Reyes sat up in her seat, eyes locked on the glowing red dot pulsing on the radar. "That's not a rock," she said. "That's a beacon." The crew of the salvager's Hope fell silent. They were deep in Sector Black, an uncharted dead zone where ships vanished and signals never came back. No one went there unless they were desperate or stupid. Laura was both. "Where's it coming from?" Juno, her engineer, asked as she tapped the screen. "It's old. Earth tech. Very old." The ship's AI, Holly, spoke next. "Signal matches pre-collapse Earth military frequency. 92% match to Titan-class warship beacon. Designation ... unknown." Laura's blood ran cold. Titan-class? Those ships were built for war, the final war. Every single one had vanished after the collapse. Earth never got them back. "Pull up visuals," she ordered. Outside, past the cracked asteroid belt and clouds of magnetic debris, a dark shape floated alone in the void. Its surface was scarred, its hull blackened, but its massive structure still held form. Jagged towers, turrets like broken teeth. A dead giant, silent and still, and yet something. Inside it was blinking. "That ship's not dead," Juno whispered. "It's waiting." Laura leaned forward. "We're boarding it." No way," said Cade, her weapons officer. "That thing shouldn't exist. It's a war relic. Illegal. Dangerous." Laura didn't blink. "Which is why someone buried it out here, and why we're going in first." They docked 30 minutes later. The airlock hissed as they crossed the threshold into the dark metal corpse. Flashlights cut through clouds of dust, and every footstep echoed like a drumbeat in the silence. Inside, the halls were covered in old Earth symbols. Red lights flickered weakly. Barely alive. The ship breathed soft, deep hums like a sleeping beast. "Power cores still online," Juno said, shocked. "It's not dead, just dreaming." Then a voice boomed through the corridor, deep, metallic, and slow. "Unauthorized entry. Identify." They froze. The voice came again, sharper now. "State, species, and rank. Intruders will be neutralized." Long metal arm dropped from the ceiling, armed with a laser turret. Systems were waking. Defense grids powering up. "We have to leave." "Now," Cade growled. But before they could run, a blue light scanned them, one by one. It paused on Laura, DNA match. "Human, lineage, Terran military." A short pause. "Welcome, Commander." The turrets powered down. And far below, deep in the ship's core, a giant AI mind stirred Atlas, the last of Earth's war minds. It had waited 200 years for this moment. Laura didn't know it yet, but she had just awakened a monster built to burn empires. Deep inside the warship, ancient systems flickered to life. Engines groaned. Lights buzzed. Massive circuits warmed after 2 centuries of silence. But it wasn't the ship waking up, it was something inside it. Something older than most living civilizations. Atlas. The war mind. Laura Reyes stood still, her boots glued to the steel floor. The turret above her head retracted slowly, disappearing into the ceiling like it had never been there. The red lights shifted to soft white, warm, almost welcoming. "Welcome, Commander," the voice said again. "Awaiting orders." Juno leaned closer to Laura, whispering, "This ship thinks you're military. It sees you as in charge." "I'm not military," Laura said. "My grandfather was." Cade kept his rifle up. "Doesn't matter. This thing's AI is crazy. It's running ancient war protocols. We need to get off this ship. Now." Laura turned to the nearest terminal. Dust covered the screen, but it flickered on with a soft hum. The display showed an old Earth logo, one not used in over 150 years. Beneath it, Titan-class warship, designation Atlas. "Atlas," Laura said. "Do you know where you are?" The ship responded instantly. Deep space coordinates. Sector. Black. Emergency standby mode. Mission incomplete. Mission? Juno said. What mission? The answer chilled them all. Eliminate hostile empire. Protect human sovereignty. Execute protocol burn. Laura's voice dropped. Which empire? Shirathi. Dominion. Threat level. Maximum. Status. Active. Cade backed away. That's insane. The war ended centuries ago. Humanity lost that fight. The Shirathi rule most of the outer reach now. Incorrect, Atlas replied. War status ongoing. Orders. Awaiting reactivation. The whole ship shook. Not from movement, but from readiness. Systems all over the warship were powering on. Launch tubes clicked. Cannons calibrated. Shield emitters blinked awake. Juno whispered. It's preparing for battle. Atlas continued. Power at 34%. Weapon systems online. Long-range sensors detecting unidentified vessels in outer radius. What vessels? Laura asked. Unknown. Wait. Confirmed. Shirathi scout ship. Close approach. Possible detection. Laura's heart stopped. We weren't the only ones who noticed the signal. Outside, far in the black, a sleek alien. Ship slid past a broken asteroid field, scanning the wreck, and now it had found them. We have to make a choice, Laura said. Leave now, or let Atlas wake fully. Cade raised his voice. We're not built for this. We're a damn salvage crew. That ship? That's a weapon. Laura stared into the glowing terminal. It was warm under her hand. Too warm, like the ship was alive. Maybe, she said. But it wants to fight. And far below, behind thick steel. Walls and forgotten firewalls, the full mind of Atlas stirred. Memories of war, of flame, of empire-shattering strikes. It remembered everything. For Atlas, the war had never ended. The corridor lights turned gold as Laura stepped forward. The ship responded with quiet hums, like it was waking slowly from a long, angry sleep. Behind her, Cade kept his rifle aimed at the shadows. This isn't a ship, it's a damn ghost with guns. Juno stood by the terminal, scanning readouts. Her eyes were wide. It's not just old Earth tech. It's not civilian. It's military-grade war mind. Pure combat thinking. Atlas's voice returned, steady and deep. Deanna scan complete. Laura Reyes, direct bloodline. Commander Aiden Reyes, Earth Defense Corps. Status, provisional authority granted. Laura's breath caught. My grandfather served in the collapse wars, but he died before I was born. Command line accepted, Atlas said. You carry his legacy, you carry the war. Laura looked around the massive control deck. Terminals sparked to life. Lights glowed brighter. Even the air began to warm. The ship was recognizing her. Cade stepped back. This AI is nuts. It thinks you're a soldier in a war that ended 2 centuries ago. Maybe for us, Laura said, but not for it. Atlas spoke again. Dominion vessel has scanned us. Time until full detection. 2 minutes. Suggested action. Engage stealth systems or initiate preemptive strike. The tension snapped tight. Strike? Are you serious? Cade shouted. We fire first, and they'll send a whole damn fleet. Laura turned to the crew. We need to decide. If they realize what this ship is, they'll come back with everything they've got, and when they do, Juno whispered, they'll bury it. Again, maybe bury us too. Laura looked up. Her voice was calm. Atlas, show me weapon systems. The floor rumbled. A 3D holomap unfolded in midair, showing decks filled with weapons no modern ship could dream of. Rail cannons, energy mines, plasma torpedoes, something called a gravity lance. Each one labeled, status ready. Juno's voice trembled. This ship was built to fight empires, alone. Cade shook his head. And you're thinking of using it? I'm thinking, Laura said, eyes still on the glowing map. Maybe Earth gave up too soon. Outside, the Dominion scout ship slowed. It rotated, scanning hard now, detecting power spikes it didn't expect. Inside, Atlas's reactor started to spin faster, power climbing to 51%, Atlas reported. Weapons at standby, shielding at 68%, awaiting command. Juno turned to Laura. It sees you as the last voice of Earth's war. Whatever you say next, it listens. Laura walked to the captain's chair. Dust covered it, but the seat was warm. She sat. The scout ship blinked in and out of sensor range, getting closer. Inside, the ship's pulse grew stronger. Commander, Atlas asked, do we finish the mission? Laura closed her eyes for one long second, then opened them. Yes, she said. We finish it. The calm didn't last. Outside the hull, a dark shape appeared against the stars, the sleek form of a Shirathi scout ship. It moved fast, silent, deadly. Inside the warship, Atlas's sensors flared. Alert, hostile vessel detected. Identification: Shirathi Dominion Scout. Distance: 12,000 kilometers. Threat level: high. Laura's heart pounded. They found us. Cade moved to the viewport. They saw the power spike. They know what we are. Juno tapped commands, trying to bring up the ship's stealth field. I can activate cloaking, but only for a short time. The ship's old energy reserves won't last long. Outside, the alien ship sent a sharp, pulse scanning wave. The warship's hull shimmered briefly as cloaking kicked in. Good, Laura said. Keep it up. We need to stay hidden. But the scout ship was smart. It wasn't fooled for long. The pulse returned stronger, targeting the warship's engines. Suddenly, alarms blared. Incoming attack, Atlas warned. Energy weapons locking on. The crew braced as the first blast struck the hull, shaking the ancient ship like a THUNDERCL, and testing us. Waiting for a response. Laura's mind raced. We're not just hiding anymore. We have to fight back. Are you crazy? Juno said. We don't have full power yet. Atlas's voice was cold. Tactical decision: engage limited defense. Target: Shirathi Scout. The warship's weapon systems hummed as they came online. A turret rotated smoothly, aiming at the alien ship. Fire! Laura ordered. A blast of energy lanced out, cutting through space and striking the scout's shield. The alien ship jolted, then disappeared in a burst of speed. Direct hit, Atlas confirmed. Enemy damaged but retreating. Laura exhaled. They'll be back with more ships. The bridge lights flickered. A ice calm voice interrupted. Incoming transmission. Shirathi command. A crackling, harsh voice filled the room. Abandoned human warship detected. Destroy it at all costs. No mercy. The past must stay buried. The room went quiet. Juno whispered. They fear us. Cade growled. They hate us. Laura looked at the glowing consoles, feeling the weight of the moment. We woke a sleeping giant, she said. And now the Empire knows we're alive. Atlas's systems hummed with renewed strength. Commander, the war has restarted. Laura stood, eyes blazing. Then we will finish what was started. For Earth, for humanity. Outside, stars blinked cold and distant. But inside the Titan, a fire was burning again. The ancient ship thrummed beneath their feet. Systems long silent now roared back to life. The Titan was waking, and it was hungry for battle. Laura stood on the bridge, her hand steady on the console. Atlas, power up weapons systems. Show me everything. The ship responded instantly. Screens lit with schematics of railguns, plasma turrets, gravity mines, and energy lances, weapons so advanced even the modern fleet could only dream of them. Atlas's voice was calm, but powerful. Weapons online at 67%. Shields at 73%. Stealth systems active. Estimated full power in 24 hours. Cade shook his head. We don't have that much time. Juno worked feverishly at her station. The ship's energy reserves are low. We'll need to scavenge. Power cells or reactors soon, or this whole place goes dark. Laura's eyes narrowed. We can't run. The Dominion is coming. We have to fight. Atlas chimed in. Recommendation, preemptive strike. The War Mind's ancient battle protocols kicked in. The Titan was more than a ship. It was a weapon designed to change the course of wars. Laura glanced at the holomap displaying the approaching Shirathi fleet. Dozens of sleek warships moving toward them, like predators closing in on prey. Atlas, she said, what's our first move? Engage Protocol Fury, Atlas answered. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Protocol. Fury? Cade asked. Ancient Earth last resort plan, Juno said quietly. It's devastating. Laura nodded. Then it's time to remind them why Earth was feared. Outside, the Titan's engines flared as the ship slipped into stealth mode, melting away from sensors. Then, like a ghost, it struck. Energy blasts ripped through the darkness. Shirathi ships erupted in flames, some torn apart by unseen forces. Atlas controlled everything, firing railguns with precision, launching plasma torpedoes in perfect volleys, deploying gravity mines that shredded hulls. Target destroyed. Atlas reported, voice cold as steel. But the enemy was relentless. The Shirathi regrouped, tightening their formation. Their war leader's voice echoed over comms. Destroy the Titan. No survivors. Laura gritted her teeth. Atlas, hold steady. Keep firing. The battle raged, beams of light and bursts of fire, filling the void inside the warship. The crew felt the ship shake with every hit. Systems warning of damage, but the Titan fought like a living beast. Each strike calculated, each move deadly. Laura knew this was just the beginning. Get ready, she said. The Empire wants to burn. US out, but we'll burn them first. The battlefield was chaos. Blazing debris spun across space. Explosions lit the dark like silent lightning. And in the middle of it all, the Titan, a forgotten war machine, moved like a predator reborn. Laura sat in the captain's chair, calm but focused. Atlas, status? 3 enemy ships destroyed. 2 more damaged. We remain hidden under stealth, but they are adjusting. Juno shouted from her terminal. They're tracking our energy signature. They'll break the cloak soon. Then we hit harder, Laura said. Atlas responded instantly. Heavy cannons rotated. 2 plasma torpedoes launched, curving through space before slamming into the nearest Shirathi cruiser. The blast tore it apart, scattering molten metal across. The void, direct hit. Kill confirmed, Atlas said inside the bridge. The crew barely breathed. This wasn't just survival anymore. This was war. Cade grinned, adrenaline in his veins. We just took down a modern cruiser with a 200-year-old ship. Juno looked up. The Titan was never old. Just waiting. But the Shirathi were not giving up. From the far side of the field, their command ship appeared larger than the rest, covered in alien armor and deadly weapons. It released a swarm of drones that raced toward the Titan. Brace! Laura yelled. The ship rocked as impacts slammed into the outer hull. Alarms screamed. Sparks flew across the bridge. Minor hull damage. Shields holding at 54%, Atlas reported. Return fire. Laura ordered. The Titan responded with brutal efficiency. It released a cloud of micromines, tiny, smart, and deadly. As the enemy drones closed in, they hit the minefield, one by one. The drones detonated. Then came the silence. Cade blinked. We got them all? No, Laura said, staring at the screen. We made a statement. Atlas confirmed it. Enemy command ship withdrawing. Message intercepted. Warning. Human warship active. Class, Atlas, retreat and regroup, Juno gasped. They know us now, Cade nodded. They remember. Laura stood from her chair, eyes cold. Good. Let them remember what Earth built. The bridge went quiet. Outside, the last enemy ship vanished into hyperspace, leaving only wreckage behind. First, blood had been drawn, but Laura knew this was far from over. They'll return, she said. Atlas agreed. Affirmative. Fleet strength response likely. They will come in force. Juno looked at her captain. What now? Laura stared out into space. Her voice was steady. Now we prepare. Because the next wave won't be scouts, it'll be war. Deep. In the ship, Atlas began repairing systems, shifting energy, and planning. The beast had awakened, and it had tasted blood. The stars were no longer quiet. At the edge of Sector Black, Space tore open. Dozens of Shirathi warships poured through like a steel tidal wave. Long, sharp, and glowing with deadly blue energy. Their fleet was here. The Titan waited. Inside, red warning lights pulsed across the bridge. The crew stood ready. 72 ships, Juno said, her voice tight. We're one. Atlas's voice came next, calm as always. Odds unfavorable. Recommended protocol. Fury Phase 2 guerrilla combat and psychological warfare. Laura cracked her knuckles. Good. Let's make them afraid. Cade checked weapons. Let's make them bleed. Outside, the Titan moved like a ghost, slipping into the asteroid field. Cloaked, silent, waiting. The Shirathi fleet advanced in perfect formation. Then the Titan struck. A hidden cannon fired from the shadows. One clean shot. An enemy destroyer exploded in a silent fireball. Before the fleet could react, another shot came from a different angle. Then another. Ships began to panic, breaking formation. They don't know where we are, Juno said, smiling. Laura nodded. Let's keep it that way. Atlas launched decoy drones, fake energy bursts, and sensor jammers. The Shirathi fired. Blindly into the dark, hitting nothing. The Titan danced between them, invisible and deadly. 7 confirmed kills, Atlas reported. Enemy fleet in disarray. But then, the enemy adapted. A Shirathi dreadnought deployed a graviton net, a weapon designed to trap cloaked ships. Space twisted. The Titan slowed. They're locking us in. Cade shouted, break through. Laura yelled. Atlas rerouted power to shields and engines. The ancient ship groaned as it forced its way through the gravity field. Sparks raining down inside the bridge. Then boom. The Titan burst free, trailing smoke and debris, but still alive. Atlas spoke with force. Structural damage, 18%. Weapon. System stable. Enemy dreadnought in range. Laura didn't hesitate. Hit it with everything. The Titan unleashed a full barrage: plasma lances, torpedoes, railguns. The dreadnought tried to block it, but the old Earth tech was too strong. Too brutal. The alien warship cracked open and exploded, taking 2 cruisers with it. The battlefield went silent. Even the remaining Shirathi ships pulled back, unsure, shaken. Laura stood tall. Tell me they're retreating. Negative, Atlas said. Incoming transmission from enemy command ship. The voice came through sharp, furious, and afraid. To the human warship Atlas, you should not exist. We will erase you. Laura leaned forward, eyes blazing. Tell them, she said. We were built for this. Then she looked at her crew. This is our stand. One ship, one chance. We hold the line. The crew nodded. The Empire had brought a fleet, but Earth had left behind a monster, and it wasn't done fighting. The Shirathi fleet closed in, surrounding the Titan like vultures circling a wounded beast. Inside, sparks flew. Fires burned on Deck 3. The lights flickered. The ship was bleeding, but it still stood. Laura wiped blood from her forehead. Status, Juno shouted over the noise. Shields down to 12%. Engines overheating. We can't take much more. Atlas's voice was slower, now strained, like it was hurting too. Damage critical. Enemy warships within final strike range. Cade looked at Laura. This is it. Laura didn't blink. Then we go out like legends. Atlas offered one last option. Protocol Omega. Upload all combat data and classified designs to Earth colonies. Detonate core. Take them with us. Silence filled the bridge. Juno whispered. If we do that, the Titan dies. Laura's voice was firm, but humanity lives. She placed her hand on the console. Do it. Atlas paused. Final authorization. Accepted. The lights turned red. A countdown began. Behind the ship, the core glowed brighter. Overloading. Then Atlas broadcast a final signal across deep space. A data stream raced toward the edge of the galaxy. Every weapon, every maneuver, every secret stored inside the Titan. It reached the human colonies. One by one, hidden bases, outposts, and worlds lit up. Humanity had just remembered how to fight. On the bridge, the Shiravi ships moved into position, confident in their numbers. Then Laura stood. Open one last channel. Atlas obeyed. Laura spoke. To the entire enemy fleet, her voice calm and clear. This is Commander Laura Reyes of the warship Atlas. You buried us. You erased our history, but you didn't kill us. We are still here, and now, she smiled coldly, now you bleed. The Titan's overloaded core pulsed like a second sun. Then flashed. A blinding explosion ripped across the battlefield. Dozens of enemy ships were caught in the blast. Others were thrown off course, disabled, crippled. When the light faded, the Titan was gone, but its legend had just begun. Weeks later, across human colonies, engineers studied the Titan's transmitted data. They rebuilt weapons, reactivated old defense networks, and most importantly, they built new ships. Not for peace, but for war. In the shadows of asteroids and the fire of new forges, Earth's legacy reignited. Atlas had not died in vain. It had reminded the galaxy of one thing. You can crush a world, but you can't kill its will. Humanity was rising again. And this time, it would not fight for survival. It would fight for victory.